Let's start out by sitting down, but crossing the legs maybe the opposite way we normally would when prompted to sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. So if you're used to crossing your right over your left or putting your left in front of the right, switch that up. And then go ahead and close your eyes and take a few moments to connect to your breath. Filling the lungs by pulling the breath down into the lower lobes of the lungs first, using the muscle, your primary breathing muscle, your diaphragm. In order to get and allow really the diaphragm to work, you'll need to relax your abdominals and allow the belly, the lower abdomen, the lower abdominal cavity to expand a bit. As you exhale, the diaphragm will draw back up. Your belly will deflate, and then the active part of the exhale is to engage strongly through the core to move more breath out of your body. Active inhale means your diaphragm is descending toward the pelvis, displacing your internal organs and moving your internal organs toward the pelvic cavity. Thus, the need to expand in order to accommodate that. As you exhale, the diaphragm rises and tucks underneath the ribs. The abdominals engage to push that last bit of breath out. Once you can really feel this belly breathing, this inhale and exhale from to and from the belly, the abdominal cavity, then start to work a little bit more into your lower thoracic cavity. Start to use the primary muscles of breathing here, your internal and external intercostals. As you inhale, you're going to pull your ribs open. So keep the descension of the diaphragm going. As your ribs expand, you'll notice that the belly doesn't have to expand as much as it was a moment ago. As you exhale, you're going to knit those ribs close together using the internal intercostals to pull the ribs back toward the spine. As you inhale, the externals pull away. Broaden across the chest, all the way up into the upper ribs now. And as you exhale, the ribs are moving toward each other and toward the spine to actively exhale. Good. Now really focus on both together, diaphragmatic and intercostal breath. Start your inhale by moving the breath down into the abdominal pelvic cavity, that feeling of fullness. Keep inhaling, pull the ribs open. From the lowest rib all the way up to the collarbone, feel expanded. As you exhale, engage in letting the diaphragm relax. Your abdominal muscles start to push the breath out, and then your obliques are also helping a bit here, pushing on the ribs. Internal intercostals are pulling the ribs in until you feel completely engaged around the spine itself. Please take 2 more breaths like that. Belly first, then the rib cage from the lowest ribs all the way up to the shoulders. Exhale, engage your abs, engage the muscles that support, drawing your ribs back towards your spine. And don't stop exhaling until you actually feel the spine itself being hugged and supported by the end of the exhalation. Once you've finished your final exhale, roll forward so you bring your hands to the floor, uncross your legs and come onto the hands and the knees. Take an inhale to extend the spine. Exhale, begin to round the back slowly. Again, think about the exhalation really working your internal muscle groups. Again, inhale, extend, pull the pelvis back, draw the ribs away from the pelvis, shoulders down, away from the ears. Exhale, draw the navel in, knit the front ribs closer together, flare your back ribs open a bit, and bring your chin into the soft part of the throat. One more time, pull the pelvis back, draw the ribs forward, let your front ribs expand toward the earth. And exhale, round. Good. Now, holding here in this rounded back position, soften your elbows a little bit. Take another inhale, but this time really focus on breathing to the back of your body, expanding to the back of your pelvis and the lower back. And again, abs are strong, hollow out the belly. Inhale now to the back of your lower rib cage. Pull the back ribs open. Use your intercostals to separate and spread out the ribs. As you exhale, knit the front of your lower ribs, your floating ribs, toward each other and up toward the spine. Inhale all the way up into the space between the shoulder blades now, expanding and maybe even creating some more space between the shoulder blades as you finish that inhale. Strong exhale. Keep the elbows from locking. Exhale from the pecs. Use your pectoral muscles, your chest muscles to push more breath out. Good, and then take your inhale, extend the spine. This time stand up onto the pads of your toes and exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, take an in-breath and move forward. So you're shifting your weight forward into the shoulders a bit, but your legs are still strong. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Forward into a pike position. Please keep your elbows soft. Remember, we're not sinking down into the shoulders. Exhale, press the heels down. Move your thigh bones back, engage your quads. One more time into pike as you bring it all the way up onto the tips of your toes if possible. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Full breath in and down dog here. Stronger, longer exhale. Now bring your knees back down to the earth. Inhale, extend the torso. Exhale, move into a child's pose, bringing your hips to your heels and sliding your arms as far forward as possible. Stay here, and again, take an inhale into your lower back, even toward the back of the pelvis. Strong exhale from the lower belly, hollowing out in front of the pelvis. Inhale into the back of your lower ribs, so that the entire, everything underneath your shoulder blades expanding up toward the sky and to the left and the right. Exhale, knit the front ribs closer together. On your next inhale, breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Keep your forehead resting on the ground here. Expand and create more space there. Exhale from your pecs. Make sure you can feel the chest muscles working to push that last bit of breath out. Good. Now, keeping your arms forward, we're going to slither the torso through the arms, moving into a low cobra here, lifting the ribs. As you exhale, release your ribs slowly back down to the earth. Forehead touches last. Inhale, undulate your spine up. The last part of your torso or upper body to come up is your head. And then exhale, bring the belly button down, bring the lowest ribs down, bring the sternum down, but keep the fronts of the shoulders rising. One more time, inhale, breathe your rib cage up off the floor. Make sure you're using your breath rather than your neck to lift the torso. Exhale as you lower. This time think of tractioning the rib cage forward. So as the ribs come back down, pull the ribs toward the front of the room. This will get you to feel more strength work in the back of your body while you're lowering down. Push up on your inhale to hands and knees. Extend the spine. Good. And then stand up onto the pads of your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, inhale into a push-up position, high plank. So you're going to bring the hips and the shoulders on the same plane. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Root the heels down a little closer to the ground. Lift the toes if possible. Inhale, high push-up position, slowly. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Heels rooting down. One more time, inhale, slowly make your way into a high plank position. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Take one more breath here, in down dog. As you exhale, engage your abdominals strongly. Hold empty, bring your knees slowly to the ground. As the knees touch, take your inhale and extend the spine. Exhale to child's pose. Reach your arms forward. Inhale, slither your arms, or your torso rather, through your arms, low cobra, lifting the ribs, chest, shoulders, head. Good. This time, exhale, release your rib cage down, and as you do, allow the legs to rise up. Forehead touches. Inhale, lower the legs, let the ribs rise. Exhale, lower the ribs, let the legs float off the floor. One more time, breathe so deeply into the belly and into the front of your rib cage that your ribs float off the ground. Your legs are descending. Keep your legs on the floor and slowly traction your rib cage forward as you finally bring your forehead back down to the earth. Push up on inhale to hands and knees, extend the spine. Stand up onto the pads of your toes, press it back to down dog. Good. This time, bend your knees and your elbows. Bring the elbows and the knees toward each other. And then straighten out the arms and the legs on the exhale. Bend the knees and the elbows, bring them toward each other. Hips draw down toward the heels. And exhale, straighten everything out without locking the knees or the elbows. One more time, elbows are gonna wrap in toward center line, and the bony parts of the elbows will pull toward the knees, and then press back to down dog. One more breath here in down dog. Strong, long exhale. Once you're empty, hollow out that belly and bring the knees slowly to the earth. Once you arrive there, inhale, find your extension. And back to child's pose as you exhale. Reach the arms as far forward as you can. Inhale, let's slither through again. Making your way into your low cobra. This time, exhale, lower the ribs, but lift the legs. And then keep your ribs lowered. Take an inhale, extend the legs further back, like you're trying to touch the tips of your toes to the back wall. Exhale, keep reaching back as you lower the legs. Keep the fronts of the shoulders rising. Inhale, breathe your legs off of the floor. Exhale, pull back as you lower the legs down. One more time, inhale, breathe the legs up. They don't have to come up very high. I don't want you to feel any pinching around your spine, but I want you to feel like your back muscles are definitely working. Make them work more as you pull the toes back before you lower the legs down. Push up on inhale again, hands and knees, extend the spine. Stand up onto the pads of your toes, downward facing dog. Good. This time we're going to lift way up onto the pads of the toes, staying in down dog. And then with your heels rising and your hips staying high, bend the knees until your ribs touch your thighs or get somewhere close. Inhale, keep the heels up, but straighten out the legs. Exhale, bring the ribs and the thighs together to the best of your ability, with the pelvis tilting up to the best of your ability at the same time. One last time, heels up, sit bones up. Exhale, keep those sit bones rising as the ribs come down. So we're really pulling the thighs up toward the rib cage. You should feel a nice release of tension across the lower back, and press those heels back down to the floor. Take a deep breath in here. Strong, long exhale. Draw the knees back down to the earth. Inhale, extend. Good. Exhale, child's pose. Reach the arms as far forward as you can. Inhale, Bhujangasana. This time, exhale, keep the ribs up and move your legs off the floor as well for Salabhasana. Inhale, reach the arms directly back. Draw the crown of your head forward so your gaze is down. Exhale, pull the fingers back, pull the toes back. Isometrically push down with the tops of your feet. Turn your palms down toward the floor as well. Take one final inhale, breathe the ribs and the thighs off the ground just a little bit more. And exhale, hands back down alongside your torso. Push up to hands and knees as you inhale. Good, and back to downward facing dog on your exhale. This time, inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Once again, inhale, extend. And exhale, bring it in. Right foot steps to the outside of your right hand. Press your left heel flat. Bring your left arm up and reach it directly over your left ear. toward the front of the room. Root down through both feet. Make sure the inner edge of your right foot roots down, the outer edge of your left foot. Drag the heels isometrically toward each other. Now open up the chest even more, and you may need to bring your right forearm onto the right thigh here. Moving into our more traditional extended right angle pose. Tucking the right ribs underneath the left here. Right thigh bone parallel with the floor. Take one final inhale. As you exhale, bring your left hand back down to the ground. Stand up onto the pads of your left toes. Inhale, open to the right, twisting lunge. Bend your right elbow, reach around and press the back of your right hand into the left side of your lower back. Getting out of this left shoulder, remember we're not wringing out from the shoulder, we're wringing out from the left kidney. So you might even want to reach with your right hand, take a hold of that kidney area and pull it forward underneath your right ribs. Good, then bring that right hand back around. Open your chest toward the sky. Take one final inhale here. Exhale, both hands to the earth. Right leg will step back to meet the left leg. Take a huge inhale in high push-up position. Good, and a strong exhale to draw the navel in. One final inhale in plank. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, left knee comes in to touch left elbow. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring the knee and the elbow together, both elbows bending. One more time, extend. And bring it in. Good. From here, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, right heel will press flat. Left hand stays on the ground. Reach your right arm over your right ear. For right now, we're not opening up fully. Okay, but we are establishing our roots and our foundation. Root through the soles of your feet. Activate your inner spiral by dragging the heels toward each other. And draw the sit bones toward the ground. Good. Now bring the forearm up to the left thigh. Open up even more here. Again, we could right now even take the left ribs, pull them forward so the chest isn't down anymore. We're opening everything up. Try to stay out of that left shoulder as well. Take another inhale. Breathe from your right foot all the way up to your right fingertips. Tracing that long line of energy. Then bring your right hand down. Stand up onto your right toes and open to the left. Take your left hand right from the beginning, grab your right kidney area and pull it underneath you. That's where the twist begins. Then bring your left arm around and press the back of your left hand into that kidney area again. And kind of coax it underneath you even more as you take your twist. Reach back with the right heel. Lift up out of the right shoulder. And on your next exhale, open the chest toward the sky even more. One final exhale here. And then release your left hand back down. Step the left foot back. Take an in breath, high push up. Strong, long exhale. One more deep in breath in, high plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in and down dog. Then a strong, long exhale to bring it all in. Bring your knees down to the earth. Inhale, extend. But exhale, child's pose. Arms reaching forward. Inhale, slither through. Bhujangasana to begin with. Exhale, Salavasana is next. Inhale, bring the arms up and reach them back. And now we're going to bend just the right leg. Reach around and take a hold of the right foot with both hands if possible. Your left leg continues to reach back strongly. Or just take a hold with the right hand. I like this a lot better. And left forearm will come down to the mat, parallel with the front of your mat. Kick back with your right foot into your right hand. Keep reaching the left leg back. Keep it lifted, but isometrically push down with the top of your left foot. Take a final inhale here. And exhale, release everything back down to the floor. Pushing up on inhale to hands and knees extending. Standing up, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. And exhale, knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Inhale, lift. Please bend your elbows on purpose. Exhale, bend the elbows without sinking into them, right? Push the floor away. Forehead to knee, knee to forehead. One more. And bring it in. Step your right foot through and press your back heel flat. Before you come into this next posture, just set it up so that your right thigh bone is already parallel with the floor. And then reach back. Turn the palms down again, just like we did in our Shavasana variation, so that your pinkies are to the inner edge of the body. Thumbs are pointed out. Externally rotating the shoulder heads open. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Take one more inhale here. Now root back with this left foot. Reach back. Rise up for warrior one. Good. Take one final inhale. And as you exhale, bring both hands back down to the ground. Step your right leg back. High plank, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Make room by bending the elbows a little more. Inhale, lift. And bring it in. One more. Good. Once you're all the way, once you bring it as close as possible, step the left foot through, press the back heel flat, left thigh bone already parallel with the ground, and root down with the outer edge of your right foot. So the pelvis is going to want to lift. Bring it down, and then root the foot so the pelvis stays down as the torso rises. This time, turn your palms to face each other. Still opening and broadening across the fronts of the shoulders and the collarbone. The crown of your head is drawing forward. Good. Now keeping the pelvis low, root back, reach back, root back with that right leg, and move into warrior one. Extend your spine by breathing deeply down into the belly, into the abdominal cavity. Again, use your diaphragm. As the diaphragm descends, the ribs will naturally rise. One final in-breath. Exhale, hands to the earth, left leg steps back, high plank. Deep inhale and high push-up. The strongest exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to take one final breath here. Make sure your quads are strongly moving the thigh bones back, which just helps us pull our weight out of the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists. Knees come down at the end of that exhale. Once they land, inhale into your extended spine. Exhale, move the knees away from each other and sit back into child's pose. Inhale, slither through Bhujangasana. Good. Exhale, Salavasana. Inhale, the arms reach back. This time, bend your left knee. Again, feel free to clasp both hands around the top of your left foot. Or bring your right forearm down, parallel with the front of your mat. And just hold on to the top of your left foot with your left hand. Keep your right leg hovering. Isometrically push down with the top of your right foot. Breathe. Please take 2 more breaths here. Think of the ribs moving directly away from the pelvis. And the pubic bone moving down into the ground is going to help you make that happen. One final breath. Exhale, release everything to the earth. Push up on your inhale to hands and knees. Find your extension again. And back to down dog on your exhalation. Inhale to lift your right leg up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow now. Inhale, lift the right leg. As you bring the knee in, hug your elbows in toward each other. Like you're trying to hold a big beach ball in between your elbows. Squeeze in around that beach ball as you bring the left knee in. Good. Once you're there, place your right knee underneath your right hip. Lift the left arm up and arch away from the floor with the right side of your body. Root down with the sole of your left foot. Take another deep inhale. Keep rooting with the left foot. Push so strongly with the left foot that you can bring your right knee off the ground. And then reach it behind you and back in. Okay, I'll show you the other side of that. Okay, so the left foot is rooting down, your knee comes in, and then reach it behind you. In and behind. One more in and behind. Good. Take that left arm around and through. Both hands down to the earth. Deep inhale. Exhale, navel draws in and up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg will rise. Left knee to right elbow, elbows hugging in around that beach ball again. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. One more time. Crossing the midline of the body, make sure you hug in with the inner elbows. You're also cinching a belt around your inner body. Bring your left knee underneath your left hip. Root down with your right foot. And lengthen out your right side as you arch away from the floor with the left side. Keep that breath flowing. Now standing up onto, or rooting down, through the sole of your right foot. Pick up your left leg and reach it back. Squeeze your inner thighs together right there. And then bring the knee in. You can bring your elbow and your knee together if you want to. And back. Elbow and knee together. And back. Squeeze inner thighs. Knee in. And back. And last time, bring it in. Step it back. Circle the right arm through. And move back into your high plank. Deep in breath and high plank. Strong exhale. Deep in breath, extend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome. Hopefully you guys are nice and warm now. Take a strong, long breath here. Make sure you finish your exhale. Bring your knees back down to the earth. Inhale, find your greater extension. Last time, we're going to move into child's pose. Slither your torso through your arms. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Salabhasana. Inhale, arms reach back. Lift fronts of shoulders. Bend both knees now. Take a hold of the outer shins. excuse me, move your thigh bones down into the earth for this one. Your shin bones back. I can't talk while I'm doing this pose, so I'm not gonna do it with you. Shin bones back, thigh bones down, pubic bone down, your hip bones are lifting. Your ribs are rising and flaring forward. The back ribs are knitting in towards your spine. Take a final inhale and propel your ribs further off the ground. Exhale, release everything back down to the floor. Wonderful job. Good, push up to hands and knees as we've been doing. And again, let's exhale to round the back. Now staying on the hands and knees, bring the chin into the soft part of the throat. Inhale, extend slowly. Exhale, round. And one more time, inhale, extend. Exhale to round. Once you are empty, let's cross the shins, sit back behind the heels and come into a seated position. And now we're going to start with the left shin just in front of the right shin in a comfortable seated, cross-legged, but not really crossed over, just left shin in front of right. Take your inhale and reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and your right hand back behind you. Inhale to simply extend your spine, grow a bit taller. Exhale, push your right foot into your left inner thigh. Push your left inner thigh into your foot. And with a little bit of help from this left hand, use those engagements to take you deeper into your twist. Remember that we're bringing out from that kidney area, not with just our arm, not with our head turning. The head is basically following the spine around. Inhale, bring it back to center. Both arms rise up. And exhale, bring your left hand down to the left side, right arm over. Pull the right knee as far away from the right fingertips as possible. Make sure you're not sinking into the left shoulder here. Allow the right sit bone to rise, but keep the right knee and the right fingertips moving as far away from each other as possible. Good, we're going to transition through those two movements. Both arms rise on inhale. Exhale, twist. Stay here, inhale, grow taller. Exhale, push foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Bring out more of your spine, turn your head. Inhale, rise up, come back to neutral, back to center. Exhale, left hand down, left elbow down if possible. Right arm reaching. Inhale, tuck left ribs under right even more. Good, exhale, draw the left side of your body in, like you're cinching a belt around those left ribs. Keep that going as you lift yourself up. Inhale, rise, reach both arms. And exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lift the rib cage further away from the pelvis. Push foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Exhale, bring out more. Maybe you turn so that you can look over your shoulder and see the back wall. Inhale, slowly unravel. Sweep both arms up. And exhale, left elbow down. If possible, left forearm down. And right arm over right ear. Open up even more so your right armpit faces the ceiling on this next in-breath. Allow your right knee to pull even further to the right. Strong exhale, left side engages. Keep that going. And both arms will rise here. Nice. On your next exhale, dive forward over your shins, reaching your arms as far to the front of your mat as possible before you then allow the ribs to begin to descend toward the earth. Feel this as a stretch for your lower back, a stretch for your left glutes, your left hip. Soften your face, your neck, your eyes, your forehead. And please make sure you're not clenching up your teeth either. Notice that we have a tendency to maybe forget about the breath, so bring it back. Remember that while you're here, you're inhaling into the lower back, the middle back, the upper back. Exhaling from lower belly, front of rib cage, chest. Take your final exhale, dive a bit deeper still. And then slowly, slowly wind your way back in. Arms reach overhead. Turn your palms face out, swivel the arms through the shoulders. and plant your palms behind you. Take your inhale and open the chest. Draw the chin up. Exhale, root down through the shins. Lift the hips. And if this is too much, you don't need to lift your hips. Otherwise, press down through the shins really strongly. Your chin can tuck in toward the soft part of the throat. We've done a lot of back bends this morning already. Let this one be about just making sure that you feel the front of the body get to open and stretch, expand toward the heavens, while the back of the body is allowed to support that opening. Push down more through your shins to make sure your knees are supported here and to increase the stretch. And then release your hips back down. Once they land, keep your hands where they are, bend your elbows and lean back a bit, and bring the legs up off the floor. Your left shin will now be crossed over your right shin. Reach your arms forward if you can, otherwise keep them back behind you. Take an inhale here and bring the legs all the way straight, as far away from your body as possible. Exhale, slowly bring your knees back in as you bring your ribs in to meet your thighs. Your spine is neutral, not rounding, not sinking. Extend and balance on those sit bones. Inhale, lean back, extend the legs forward. Exhale, squeeze your inner thighs together more on purpose. This just helps us activate transverse. Bring the knees slowly in. Sit bones root down. If you want to go a little further, hands can come to your thighs. Push your hands into your thighs as you push your legs away from you. And as you exhale, bring the thighs in, but resist the legs coming in. Nice, uncross your legs. Recross now with the right shin in front of the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to your left. Right hand to outside of left thigh. Left hand can come behind your right glutes if possible, at least behind the tailbone, but maybe even more to the right. Inhale, just grow taller. Open the heart center. Exhale, without collapsing, push your foot into your thigh. Stay here for another breath or two. Work the pose by working the point of origination, where the twist begins. So often we think that if we just yank with our arm, we'll be able to go further, right? Instead of that, keep the spine extended. Exhale your way into a deeper twist and use that pressure foot into thigh to help you find a deep internal support for the twist. Unravel, sweep the arms overhead, and bring your right hand down to the right, left arm over your left ear. Allow the left sit bone to come up, but pull the left knee now as far away from your left fingertips as possible. This right elbow doesn't have to touch the floor, but if it can, go ahead and let the elbow touch the ground. Pull the knee to the left, pull the fingertips to the right, lengthening the left side of your body from your knee all the way to the fingertips. Good. Let's rotate the left armpit up to the sky, tucking your right ribs underneath. Now you're really going to engage right obliques. Knit them in to lift up. When you're ready to inhale, both arms will rise. And now let's just flow a little bit through this. Right hand to outside of left thigh as you exhale. Inhale, take all of the compression out of the pose. Exhale, push foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Feel the internal engagement. And see if that internal engagement can take you further. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead as you move back to center. Exhale, right hand down. Maybe your right elbow comes down. Maybe the right forearm begins to touch the floor. Left knee pulls to the left, left arm to the right. Inhale, rotate left armpit to the ceiling. Exhale, reach further. Engage on purpose here, right side body. Keep that engagement as you rise. Otherwise, we're moving out of integrity, right? And then again, right hand to outside of left thigh. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist. Go further. Nice job. Inhale, unravel. Sweep the arms up. And exhale to your right one more time. Right forearm down. Left arm reaches over. Again, there's going to be that tendency to sink. Let's not. Pull the knee to the left. Pull the fingers to the right. Push your left foot into your right inner thigh here as well to go deeper still. Rise up, inhale. Remember, we're inhaling when the right arm rises. Exhale, dive over your shins again. Fingers reaching as far forward as possible. We're finding length as much as possible here. And then once we find the sides of our bodies really extending from the hips to the armpits, or maybe even from the hips all the way to the fingertips, then relax your forehead down as close to the floor as possible. Allow your armpits to melt toward the earth. Feel this is a nice stretch for your posterior deltoids as well. Very nice. Take one final exhale. Make sure the core is engaged. Keep the core engaged as you drag your fingertips back in towards your shins. When you're ready to inhale, arms rise, palms turn out. Exhale, bring your hands back behind you. Again, we're going to shift the weight back into the hands for a moment to lift the feet up off the ground. This time your right shin will be crossed over your left. Feel free to keep the hands back. Right? This time we're going to exhale the legs straight and inhale the knees in. If possible, you can do that without using your arms. Exhale the legs forward. Inhale the knees, come in, balance on the sit bones. Want to make it more challenging? Exhale as though you're pushing something heavy away, using your hands to press onto your thighs. And inhale, resist the thigh bones coming back in. Let's just do one more of those. Good. Exhale, push something heavy away. And inhale, resist the knees coming back in toward the chest. Awesome job. This time we'll uncross. Bring the soles of your feet flat to the mat. Bring your hands back behind you with your fingers pointed away from your hips. Bend the elbows on purpose. And use the elbows bending to broaden the shoulders. Exhale, root down through the feet. Again, if this is too much, stay seated, but do a spinal extension anyway. Notice that your elbows want to lock out here. Keep them bent on purpose, pulling the bony parts of the elbows toward either side of the room. Release the hips back down. Keep your elbows bending so your chest doesn't collapse as the sit bones touch. Then turn your hands to either side of the room. So your fingers are pointing to the left and the right. Inhale, bend elbows, lift the heart, move the sternum toward the sky. Exhale, push down through the feet, lift the hips, your crown draws back, elbows stay bent. Engage your hamstrings, engage your glutes. One more inhale. Exhale, release the hips down without letting your chest collapse. Fingers point in now toward your glutes. Huge in breath. Open up the chest. The bony parts of the elbows are now pointing directly back. Exhale, push down through feet. Keep elbows bent. Lift the hips. Keep your elbows bent on purpose. Chin can come to the soft part of the throat if your neck feels like it's doing too much. One final inhale, lift the pelvis higher. Exhale, hips down, chest stays open. Fabulous, good. Drop onto your forearms and bring the fingertips to point toward the glutes. Lift the chest, extend the legs up. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, bring the left leg, just the left leg, forward. Bring it about parallel with the floor. And then bring it slowly back up. Right leg down and parallel. And then slowly all the way back up. Now this time, bring the left leg forward until you feel your abs kick in. Hold it there. Exhale, isometrically hug both bring your right heel a little further forward too. Hug both legs isometrically toward midline until you feel how that hugging into midline fires up the belly even more. Good, and then bring everything back to center. One more time, and then we're going to do this lying down. Bring your right leg forward. Let the left leg just hover maybe above it, another foot. Hug in isometrically with both inner thighs. So the positioning of the legs doesn't change, but we activate the adductors, which helps us tone the lower belly. Bring both legs back up. Walk your elbows out and lie onto your back. Good. Now take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your heels, let's say another foot forward. No more than another foot forward. So the legs are now at a diagonal line in relationship to the floor and the ceiling. Okay. From there, Bring your left leg down just a little bit more. Let's squeeze your inner, this time we're gonna cross the left leg under the right, squeeze the inner thighs. Don't let your right leg rest on your left. I know it's gonna be really challenging not to let that happen, right? But place right thigh on left thigh, squeeze those inner thighs together, pull the sit bones towards your heels. Inhale, uncross, and bring it back to center. Take a little break. Good. One more time. Exhale, your right leg comes down until you feel the core kick in. That initial engagement, right? Exhale, the left leg comes forward, cross the left leg over right. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Scoop, do all of this without any tension in the shoulders or the face, by the way. Scoop the pelvis off the floor to the best of your ability, or just send your sit bones towards your heels. Squeeze those inner thighs, draw navel down, feel the toning of that lower belly. Inhale, uncross. Exhale, bring the legs in. Good. Good job. All right, let's keep the legs there for a moment. Clasp your hands behind your head now, interlacing your fingers, and take a deep in breath. As you exhale, bend your knees and bring your elbows and your knees together, pushing the elbows into the knees and the knees back into that pressure. Take a deep inhale into the back of your body. Exhale, place your left elbow to your right knee and extend your left leg forward. Now, keep the shape there. Lift your left leg back up over your hip and then bring it down parallel with the floor. Inhale, leg up. You're going to feel this in both directions. Exhale, leg down. Leg up. Do this slowly. Leg back down. 2 more times. Up. Keep pushing elbow into knee, by the way, and down. Last time. Up. And back down. Good. Bring both knees, bend your left knee, bring both knees back in. Push elbows into knees, knees into elbows, and release. Bring the feet to the mat. We'll do the other side in a moment. Arms alongside your torso. Take an inhale and extend the spine. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up. Inhale, peel the spine off the floor into a bridge pose. Exhale, walk your arms underneath you, clasp your hands together, and press the pinky edges of your hands into the floor. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Good. Exhale, just cross your left leg toward the right. Inhale, bring it straight back up. Just 2 more. Exhale, cross to the right. Extend on the inhale. Exhale, cross over. Good. Extend the left leg back up. See if you can root the sole of your left foot into the ceiling. And then release your left foot back down to the ground. Inhale, lift everything higher. And taking your arms out from underneath you, roll your spine slowly back down to the earth. Good. Once you land, take your in-breath. Exhale, pick up your feet, hands behind your head. Bring your elbows in to touch your knees and your knees in to touch your elbows. Pushing elbows into knees, push your knees isometrically back into that pressure. If you're not sure where you should be feeling this, push more, okay? Because you should already feel like the transverse and your abdominal wall here are engaged. Now bring your right elbow to your left knee. Start with the right leg up. And you can even, it's not really about what's happening on this left side. So you can bring your left elbow to the ground here and kind of rest there, and that's fine, okay? Then we're gonna bring the right leg down and slowly back up. Now do this while feeling your abs working, okay? So engage first and then move the leg. Down, engage, and then move the leg back up. Engage, move down. And then you don't have to do so many before you start to really feel this. Leg back up. If you use momentum, if you move quickly through this, you'll be wondering why we're doing this. If you move slowly, engage first before you move, you'll know exactly where you should be feeling this. Good, last time, bring the leg up. Push the elbow into the knee, knee into the elbow. Bring it back to center, elbows and knees touching. Push elbows into knees, knees into elbows. And again, releasing everything back down. Great, great work for your internal obliques. And your abdominal wall and your transverse abdominis, by the way. Arms alongside your torso, take your inhale. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up. Inhale, peel the spine off the floor. Walk your arms underneath you, clasp your hands again. We're just gonna press the inner triceps down, the outer edges of the pinkies down. Make sure your chin isn't tucked into your throat here. Root down through your left foot, bring your right leg up. Activate your right toes. Take your in-breath. Exhale without moving your pelvis, by the way. Just cross your right leg to the left. Keep hugging your left inner thigh to midline. And bring it back up. So we're not moving the whole pelvis, right? Pelvis stays neutral. Cross right leg to left. Hug left inner thigh in. One more time, inhale, leg up over right hip. Exhale, right leg crosses over. Engage those inner thighs. Bring the right leg up. Reach it up to the sky even more. And then place your right foot down. Stay in this pose, but root down more through both feet. Push down with the arms. Get off of the shoulder blades entirely. And then begin to slowly, slowly roll out of the bridge pose. One vertebra at a time, to the best of your ability. All the way down until you feel the sacrum descend. Huge inhale here. Wonderful work today, everybody. Exhale, draw your knees over to the left. Your legs are offset here, so your right knee will move toward the left ankle. Inhale, bring the knees back up. Exhale, the knees point to the right. Left knee hovering over right ankle. Inhale the knees up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, knees back to neutral, and exhale to the right. Last time, knees come up, inhale. Exhale to the left. Engage your right inner thigh just a little bit more to pull the right inner knee closer to the ground. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, engage left inner thigh, bring left inner knee closer to the ground as well. Good, bring your knees back to center. This time we're gonna move to the right. We're gonna let the left leg stay where it is. Reach down with your right hand and roll over onto your left shoulder a bit here to reach back and take a hold of your right foot. And then roll onto your back again. Left hand is gonna stay on the left inner thigh. We're just gonna press down really gently there. Right heel is coming toward right sit bone to the best of your ability here. And then once you have a hold of the top of your right foot, bring the back of your hand to the ground. So your foot is resting into the palm of the right hand. Bring your right shoulder blade to the ground if possible. This is a pretty intense stretch on the right quads. But we have been stretching them out quite a bit today with all of the back bends. So notice that maybe you can go a little further. Squeeze or push rather, the right foot into your right hand. Engage your right glutes and your hamstrings so you're pushing your thigh bone toward the sky. One final inhale. And one more exhale to really, really get the back of your right shoulder down, the right elbow down, the right shoulder blade down. So you're broadening across this belly area as well. But let go of your right foot. Bring your right foot down to the ground with your right knee bent and bring the knees back up to neutral and over to the right side now. So again, right leg will stay where it is. You can bring your right hand to the right inner thigh, grab your left foot, just roll onto your right shoulder for a moment. Take a hold of the top of your left foot with your left hand. Bring the left heel as close to left sit bone as possible. Begin to then roll over. The first thing that will touch down is your left toe and then your left elbow. Now, if this is as far as you can go, stay right there. because you'll still be feeling this. You don't have to go further if you already feel it. Right hand just presses gently on the right thigh. Notice how that increases the stretch on the left thigh. Okay, so if the right knee is kind of coming up, we don't feel it as much. Right hand gently presses right thigh down. Feel left quad stretch more. If you can come onto the top of your left foot, please do. Slide the left elbow out and start to bring your left shoulder blade down to the ground, to the back of the left shoulder, or both. This is a bit of a back bend. Just make sure you're not pinching up your spine. Now, again, you really want to work that feeling of being able to push the foot into the palm of the hand. Press the back of the left shoulder down. You can even use your right hand to imagine that you're extending your right femur bone even more to the right, which in other words is going to help you bring the left shoulder blade and the back of the left shoulder closer to the ground. Engage your left glutes, left hamstrings. Push your left foot into your left hand and take a final inhale here. Breathe into the front of your left thigh and make sure that on your exhale, your left thigh bone is moving toward the ceiling. Good. And then slowly release your left foot back down to the ground. Your left knee is bent. Roll onto your back with both knees bent, both feet flat to the mat. Take a huge in-breath here. Just notice how alive your legs feel, by the way. Bring your hands to your shins, bring your forehead up to meet your knees. And in this final position, before we take Shavasana, just check in with your body for a moment. If there's any tension that you've brought up to the surface or that you're noticing finally, as you release out of this pose, take a moment to stretch that part of your body out, right? So if your neck felt all tense or if you notice there's tension there, just maybe turn your head side to side or take a quick neck stretch or whatever else you need to be doing, right? So one more pose perhaps, or maybe you just move side to side, maybe you take another spinal twist. Now tomorrow your core, all of it, is going to feel like quite a bit happened today, and that's great, right? When you're ready to, you're going to release everything down into Shavasana. Extend your legs out beneath you, your arms to either side of you. Make sure that here you're allowing even your core muscle groups to relax and just soften there on purpose. Contrary to popular belief, the abdominals deserve to relax just like any other muscle group in the body. And actually a lot of digestive issues can be healed, not all of them, but a lot, right? When we start doing diaphragmatic breath, when we start learning how to actually let go of the tension that we're always holding around our internal organs. So this is the perfect time to just practice that. The floor is supporting your body weight. You don't need your abs to be working. You don't even need to be breathing at this point. Your body's brought in enough oxygen. So just let your body just breathe itself. No effort, no physical or muscular effort behind the breath. But get even softer in the belly. Right? Just see your internal organs really happily floating around in all of their viscosity, right? All of the fluid that surrounds those internal organs. And for these final moments of class, also make sure there's no tension in your face or your shoulders, your jaw. Unclench your teeth, unfurrow your brow. Let the eyes relax and fall back into their sockets. And simply just experience softness, a moment of non-effort after the tremendous effort you put into your practice today. Thanks so very much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.